Dare to dream. Imagine a settlement where your power stations, your generators haven't just been plonked down randomly in a field with legs floating in midair. Imagine the little ones not just shoved up against walls naked as a newborn baby or up against a wire fence looking fairly naff, to be blunt. Imagine a video that will give you short, quick, snappy 5-minute builds that will improve the look of your settlements without too much effort from you. Impossible, I hear you cry. Can't be done, I hear you exclaim. But can we build it? Yes, we can. Welcome to Build It, episode number 2. We're going to be showing you 4 different generator builds today to be used in different places in your settlement. Now, the first thing I would suggest you do before you start doing these builds is to remove any of the wires you have attached to them. So look at the wires themselves and hit store, because that'll make these things a lot easier to kind of move around. Now, the first one here is a kind of an outside settlement build, maybe kind of next to a building or maybe kind of a little bit kind of further away. But the idea is that this particular build is going to look a little bit kind of isolated from the rest of the settlement. Grab yourself a foundation. There's wooden ones, there's concrete ones, there's the barn ones, which we're using here. And then you're going to take the generator and you're going to stick it on top. You can put it around any way you want, but I personally feel that kind of the sides and the back look a little bit nicer than the front, because the front's just got this big kind of metal kind of slab. Then grab yourself some stairs. Again, it doesn't really matter which, but I've gone for the metal ones that you'll find in the bound tab. Because I like that kind of, it looks kind of more industrial. And of course, what we're making here today is a kind of an industrial design for the power. And then you're going to head back into your structures and go into concrete, and you're looking for the railings. And there's these lovely, you've got a few options here. You can use the kind of long, thin ones, which you can slot into place carefully, or you've got these lovely quick ones here, which will just snap on so easily. And you can really quickly just kind of run around the edge of your design here and put them in place. If you find that any of them don't go, then it'll be probably due to the placement of your generator itself. So just go back in, tweak it a little bit. Remember, sometimes it's easier to move you rather than the item itself to make these kind of little fiddly adjustments, and then it goes in. And then all you need is a few little bits of decoration, maybe an electrical sign to shove on the edge, maybe a hazard sign to tell people that they shouldn't be there if they're not supposed to be. And voila, you've just made yourself a lovely little generator outside your settlement, which looks aesthetically so much better, and it took us about 2 minutes and just a little bit of concrete and steel. Ta-da! The little generators. Now, little generators they're quite cute. They don't produce all that much power, but there's actually a bit more freedom with what you do to these. You could put them on a floor, halfway up a wall, inside it. But what we're going to do is try to simulate those little kind of backup generator houses that people have often kind of outside their barns. And I'm going to show you one design which is just really, really, really quick and easy, and then one that's just a little bit more fiddly, but both of them I promise you will take less than 5 minutes. If you go into the barn miscellaneous tab and go all the way to the end, you'll find this little roof cupola thing. And it's a really, really nice little design that's supposed to go on the top of barns, but it will also just fit on the floor quite happily as well. And you could turn this little item here into a generator house, which is going to be really, really kind of cute. And now what we're going to do is use something called the rug glitch to do this. And there's loads of videos on the rug glitch around YouTube, so I'm not going to explain it, but I'll show you just briefly the principle behind it. Basically, you take a rug and then another rug and then another rug and put it together, and then we're just going to pick up the first rug. But again, watch the video. And so then you grab the generator, put it on here, and then you just pick up the first rug. Don't hold it, just tap it, and you pick it up, and the whole lot kind of comes with us. And what this allows us to do is to actually place those other items kind of anywhere we want. Now, the important bit here, before we put it inside that little house, we need to connect it, because we won't be able to connect it afterwards. So I'm going to connect that up to the pylon. So that's on, it's connected, that we've got the power out of there. We pick up the little rug, and then we slide our generator inside, and you want it to be visible, so feel free to get it to as close to the window as you want. You can even have it kind of cutting through slightly if you like the kind of aesthetic look of it kind of poking through the window. Then you place it, and then you delete the rugs, And we've got it. Slight disadvantage of this one is that the wire kind of comes through the side, but to be honest, once you've kind of taken off the workshop mode, it just looks like someone's got a drilled a hole in it. And I think that looks, I don't know if you agree, but I think that looks like a really cute little outhouse generator, which is so quick to put together. Now let me show you another cool little design along the same lines. If you go to the barn tab again, and again go into miscellaneous, you'll find there's a load of outhouses which are designed for human beings like you and I to have a nice little pool. And you can easily just put a generator inside one of these, which is pretty cool. And so one option could be put some stuff in here and then just decorate the top of it. You could just put some lights up there and job's done for your signpost. But to make it look even more like a little generator house, we're going to use a little kind of glitchy thing. Now you can do this with a few different objects. You can use it with a pillar, you can use it with foundations, but basically you're looking for one of these objects that kind of cuts through the floor just a little bit. 'Cause there are certain objects which has to be placed on top of the floor, like the outhouse, and then there's other objects which you can quite happily move up and down. And what I'm going to do with this foundation is I'm going to line up to the rough height that I want the outhouse to be, and maybe even just a little bit higher. So we're going to go to there, and then I'm going to hold down the select button, which then grabs both items, and then I'm going to move it down into position, and you can see it's still yellow, and it's actually now shortening the previous item. And then we press OK, we get rid of the foundation, the other object stays, and look, we can now fit this generator in. And there's a few little things that you can do to make it look even nicer really quickly. If we just pull the generator back out again, and by the way, if you want to use the rug glitch to slide this generator in at any point, you can. If you make your design too complicated and you need to use the rug glitch to get in, just go ahead. But one little tip you can do is to grab some lights and conduits and put them in. Now we're going to put them in on the side here while it's already down quite low, but you might want to do this bit of decoration before you lower the outhouse itself. Does make this job kind of a little bit easier. In fact, another thing that makes it easier is if you connect the wire to the conduit before it goes in. But to do that, remember, make sure they need to have a kind of a clear kind of connection between the two. But once they're in, you can move it around. It'll be easy for you to see where it's available to go and where it won't. And once those two bits are in, oops, he says grabbing the wrong piece. Make sure you grab the generator, not the wire. You will then have a nicely lit generator shack, which will look absolutely fantastic at night. Again, you can decorate the sides. It's quite tricky to decorate the front, although you can kind of squeeze little bits in there. But I personally think it's easier and quicker just to kind of decorate the sides. And then if we change it to the middle of the night, you can see a really lovely looking glowing generator shed puffing away, making your settlement beautifully lit. And time for design number 4. This one you can use inside a settlement or outside a settlement. It kind of works quite nicely on kind of mud and in other places. And we're going to head back over to the brand new barn tab. By the way, if you've got any build-its you'd like to see, especially kind of small little tips like this, let me know. And of course, if you have any great designs that I could make videos out of well, then do let me know. I'd love to feature some of your designs as well. Now, if you head over to the floors tab, there's all these kind of cool little grating bits which we can use as really nice kind of industrial looking floors. But there's even a few if you go into roofs. And I spotted that some of them actually quite happily cut into the floor, even though they are roof items. So, for example, this one here and this one here. If you lower them down, they will kind of cut into the ground and give you these nice, slightly different looking floor designs, really. So the one we're going to use is a roof piece like this, which then will quite happily cut into our swimming pool. And we can use this kind of metal bit to be the place where we're going to put our generator. And this is kind of like going to be the step up where people can work. And to make this illusion work, we're going to use some of the wire fences. Now, these don't quite fit on, so we're going to have to place them slightly hanging off the edge. These are obviously found in just the fences tab. But if this is the back, it's not really, you have to kind of be looking quite hard to notice these. And of course, if you're on the PC, you can use the Place Anywhere mod to literally just kind of place these anywhere. The clue is in the name. And you kind of get put them in there. And if they bother you, you can kind of keep fiddling until you kind of get them as on as you possibly can. Then we grab the generator itself, and it will really nicely slip in here. And you want to try and put it as close to the fence area as you possibly can, so we can kind of decorate the rest. But I mean, look how cool that's going to look. Then we can just grab some like railings, and again, these are from the concrete tab to kind of fence this little area in. Again, it will kind of cut in, or you can bring it further out, just depends what you want. And I'm putting these in quite quickly, so feel free to fiddle around until you get it in a perfect way, and then just decorate it. Really, we can grab one of these nice new Far Harbor tannery hide benches. Look really nice as a kind of like workbench right next to it. We skip that on, and somewhere I've placed a little lantern as well, which also works very nicely as a kind of little design. But you can also put some crates down here. You can put some tires on the edge, etc., etc. By the way, on the outhouse design as well, if you want, you can cover the front of it too. So you can grab a metal one there, where you can very much still see the design, or you can even use one of these wooden ones. And the wooden ones, if you're going to use a wooden one, use some of the ones where the slats are kind of slightly see-through, so you can kind of still see the fence in there. And then just maybe center it up a little bit better than I did, get it as close as you can to the wall, and you've got yourself a really, really nice design. Now this one in particular, like I said, I think it can go inside a settlement like this. You could put it up against a wall, and you can even grab the whole thing by getting any bit of it, holding down the select button, grab this whole thing and take it somewhere else. You need somewhere where the ground is relatively flat so it doesn't kind of clip, but it will work pretty nicely as an out and about design as well. So there we have it. In fact, even the stand bits actually work quite nicely as like pseudo foundations as well. So even it does clip out slightly, it still works. So there you have it, 4 very, very, very quick designs to improve the look of power stations around your settlements. I hope you found this video enjoyable and useful. If you did, please give the video a like and subscribe to the channel. You can also find all sorts of cool Bethesda content. There's a Skyrim roleplay, there's a Fallout 4 roleplay, 2 of them. There's a permadeath Fallout roleplay. There's loads of mod it videos as well as build it videos. So there is plenty to keep you entertained. So there is no excuse for you ever to go to anyone else's channel ever again. But thank you for watching. You have been fantastic, and so have I. Goodbye.